I'm going to wait a few more minutes. I want to make sure this is up and running. All right. I'm just double checking everything. It's been a while since I have live streamed. Today I want to talk about the Book of Enoch after I get this set up. Like I said, it's been a hot minute. I need to check everything. Okay. Might just be me. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay. I think I'm on now. I think I'm good. Okay. Hi, I'm American Nana. It's been a while since I've posted. I've had some health issues. I don't want to discuss that today because that's neither here nor there on what's going on with what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is I was listening to the Book of Enoch, and I don't know if you listen to the Book of Enoch or if you read the Book of Enoch or anything. But in the Book of Enoch, I'm having troubles with, I don't normally film on my video on my phone, so I'm learning how. I usually use a tablet or my computer, and so I'm transitioning over because I don't have my studio like I did. So now I'm just going to be doing live videos. So what I was going to say was today I was listening to the Book of Enoch. I'm traveling and I got the Book of Enoch on, right? And I don't know if you've read it, if you know what it is, but the Book of Enoch was found in the Qumran caves back in the 40s, I believe, was the first time they found them. The second time they found some more of the scrolls was during COVID. No one really found out until later on. But what it is books of the Bible that they have found that back up what is written in the Bible. And there's many, many books that aren't in the Bible. Like I listened to a book at home that has like 9 extra books in it. It's from 1611. Now, there are no other books besides the one that's in the Ethiopian one. And I think it's like 64 other books that are in there that the Catholics took out so we wouldn't use. But I think the books that they took out were educational books to help us with what we deal with in everyday life, like science. I guess I've become a science denier when it comes to man science because God started science. God is science. God made the science, right? And so when you read the Book of Enoch, it actually explains it a lot better than just the Bible. It actually, and they go back and they realize that some of the books of Enoch come in like after Genesis 5, and it goes, and it's a filler for all that, and then it goes into Genesis 26. So there's a whole lot of information missing in 21 books in the Book of Enoch, right, or in the book of the Bible. So today I was listening to the Book of Enoch, and something very interesting was said, and it kind of shook me to my core because if that is the truth, then we're in serious trouble when it comes to what we're doing on earth. So what it was Enoch was he never died. He was taken up by angels in the chariots to God, right? He never died, right? He was a witness for us. He was the watcher of the fallen angel and the Nephilim. That's what he did. He told us everything that they did, but that book is not available to us in our Bible because it wasn't canonical, is what they say. And I don't believe that man should have picked through our books, but he did, right? So, but anyway, I wanted to tell you what this was saying in Enoch. Now, if you go through Enoch, there are many, many things that Enoch talks about because he was the watcher of fallen angels. One of the things that got me was I did know that the stars were celestial beings, but I did not know that Enoch said that they were celestial beings that were stuck up in the dome that covers the earth, which you'll know all about. It talks about it in the Bible, but it goes more into it in Enoch. Everything is a spirit. The wind is a spirit. The sun is a spirit. Everything does its thing through God, right? So anyway, but he was talking about the oh, I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, he was saying he was a watcher of the angels. He's talking about these celestial beings, right? The stars in the sky, right? And that kind of got me at first, right? Because I'm thinking about it and I'm thinking about, oh my goodness, we were always told to wish upon a falling star. But it tells us in the Book of Enoch that those fallen stars are not good people. They're not good angels. They are bad. They're there waiting their punishment. So the things that are falling from the heavens are fallen angels. They're not, rocks, right? Like we were told. And it tells you, in the Bible, in the Book of Enoch, that this is that, right? So, and I was thinking about it and I'm thinking, well, Disney had the song, when you wish upon a star, right? What are you wishing upon? Who are you wishing it to? That is a fallen angel. That is a demonic being up there, right? And so we have this in everything we do. Everything that we've seen and done, the devil has normalized so much stuff for us because people think, oh, that's innocent, and they put it in songs and stuff. But here's the thing. The devil knows it's not innocent. The devil spoke it in your ear and gave you a little nudge about it and said, hey, write about this and sing about that. If you sing that song Bohemian Rhapsody, you're conjuring up demons. So just remember that, because that Figaro and all them, those are demons that they're conjuring up. So think about stuff that you're singing out loud. Think about these things that are not supposed to be sung out loud, that are not supposed to be, in the air like that, because spoken word is what God created the earth with, right? All right. So that was one of the things. But there's many things that Enoch wrote about, but this one caught me off guard today, because this one here really hit me hard, and I had to ask about it to see if this was true. And I asked, I even asked about the Book of Jasher. There's like so many books mentioned in the Bible that we don't have. Okay, the question was that I heard. Enoch said that all souls were created in the beginning of time. When man was created, all the souls were created. Now, and they're waiting in heaven. Now, I've seen movies, and here's the thing. I think that movies reflect a lot of things that we are kept from. And I think the devil flaunts them in our eyes, flaunts them in our face, because he knows the truth. But he lies to us, right? I mean, he's been lying. He was on earth before we were on earth. He was getting everything all set up so he could lie to us, right? So he could deceive us, right? And so, this is his domain. So listen to this. It says the Book of Enoch, especially in chapters Enoch 15 and chapter 22, strongly supports the idea that all human souls were created from God from the beginning. It says it's held in a designated realm and released in appointed times to be born on earth. I saw this thing the other day, and it said that babies aren't randomly born. Sperm are not faster than the other. The sperm and the egg that come together were meant to come together. The one that will make it will live. And when they go in, when the sperm impregnates the egg, it lights up. And I've known that for years. It lights up. The zinc in it comes to life, right? So that is when a baby is conceived, at the moment of conception. Now, is this when its soul comes into it? I don't know. But according to Enoch, that baby is ready and waiting to be born, right? So if that soul is up in heaven waiting to come down to earth, and you abort it, that baby never makes its purpose on earth. That baby soul is sent back up to heaven for the death side, right? So it says that God is the creator of all spirits. So in Enoch 15:2, it says the souls of all flesh are before the Lord of spirits, right? This suggests that every soul comes from the Lord and not randomly created during conception. This means that when Ezekiel said, when God told Ezekiel, I knew you before I formed you in the womb, he did. He created our souls before he even formed us in the womb, because he knew when we were going to come. He said, this baby goes here and this baby goes here. This is God, and it makes more sense when you do this. But it really struck me hard because, if you read my book, which, or if you've watched any of my channels, at 16, I was taken down to give an abortion. I had no idea what anything was going on. No one explained anything to me. No one did anything. All I knew is they were put a thing over my head, took me in. There was protesters. No one told me what I was doing. Nothing. That's how I ended up pregnant. I had no idea. I mean, I was a very naive teenager. And I know most people are, but I was very naive. I had no idea. And what gets me is that baby had a purpose. That soul came all the way from heaven to have a purpose. And I extinguished it. And now, I think about this stuff. I think about what Enoch is saying. And I'm like, oh my gosh, do you know how many billions of babies have been aborted over all these years? Margaret Sanger, that's what she wanted. She was evil enough that she just wanted to kill babies, right? And how many, they just opened up a third trimester abortion clinic in Chicago. And that is so sad. Third trimester, 6th, 7th, and or 7th, 8th, and 9th month, the last 3 months of a baby. I think about that. They're murdering babies left and right. And these souls were there before when man was created, before we were ever even thought of in the womb. We were there. We're in heaven with God. And these souls are waiting. And there's some theories to when this will stop. So it says that Earth is a place of testing. It says you are spiritual, holy, living the eternal life, but you defiled yourselves with the blood of women, and now the souls of the giants, the Nephilim, shall become evil spirits on the earth. So we do know that the giants do roam the earth as demons and evil spirits, right? That's Enoch 15:3-10. So those babies did not end up with souls because those were not appointed by God, right? Oh, no, never mind. It does say they have souls. I totally blanked on that. It does say, and now the souls of the giant. So those babies were sent souls, but they're now in the Nephilim, right? I'm sorry. I totally spaced on that. I've been traveling. I'm tired. And it says, this is God talking to the fallen angels. He reminds them that the spiritual beings have no business mixing with the flesh because earth is made for man. All right. It says that alone implies man's souls were destined to be here. Earth is a realm of purpose and stewardship for those created in God's image, and other spirits like the Watchers were not supposed to dwell here permanently. So the souls of the dead, they await judgment in set places. Now, this I've always, they talk about Sheol because it talks about it in the Old Testament where they could actually talk to each other in Sheol, but you had one side that was good and one side that was bad. In Enoch 22, it breaks it down. It says the prophet is shown Sheol, a spiritual holding place. This is where you're going to be spiritually, is where the souls wait after death, right? It says there are 4 compartments. There's the righteous who wait a reward, the wicked who await punishment, the intercessors like Abel who cry out for justice, and the unrepentant who are held in torment. So it says these souls are clearly individuals already formed and waiting for final judgment. Further evidence that each soul has a known identity and purpose, not created randomly at death or birth, right? So what does this suggest about God's plan? It says that every soul was made by God from the beginning. Each has a time and place to be born. Earth is proving ground. Earth is a proving ground, not a permanent home. So this is our temporary place, right? It just proves that we need to be with God, right? We come here, we do what God tells us to do, and then we go back home, right? Because that's where we started. Everything comes full circle in the Bible, right? Ooh, I think it's thundering here. I'm in Little Rock. I think it's thundering now. I don't know. Some spirits like Nephilim. I'm sorry. Some spirits like Nephilim and demons were never supposed to be here, and God guards the boundaries of spirit and flesh. Let me just let him know that I am on a video. So, sorry guys, I was not expecting him to call. So anyway, I'll have to hurry and wrap this up. All right, so the bonus inside, it says that, let me get my page back up, is that what matches the scripture, right? It says, though Enoch gives the clearest detail here in the hints in the Bible that line up. Jeremiah 1:5. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. That definitely makes more sense now, right? Ecclesiastes 12:7. The spirit returns to God who gave it. The spirit returns to God who gave it. Zechariah 12:1. The Lord who forms the spirit of man within him. And then Job 38:7 is a question. It says, when the morning stars sang together and all the sons of God shouted for joy. So I think that was when Job was talking, right? So it implies that the soul existed before creation was finished. So it says the soul's already known, already designed, and already waiting in their time on earth. That's why abortion is so wicked. That's why population control is so demonic, because man is interrupting heaven's timeline. Enoch confirms you were chosen, not made by accident, not tossed into a body by random, and you were assigned, and so every soul you were called to reach, right? And that's just where I want to wrap it up at, is that every soul has a purpose. It's to return back to God, right? So we know that Jesus came from heaven, came down on earth, and went back up. That's how we are. We started off in heaven as a soul. We were put in the body. As soon as we get a body, God puts us in there, right? And then we go back up to heaven when we die. We're supposed to. But some men, they and women and whoever, man, like the wicked stuff. And so that's the scary thing about it, is we don't know the truth, but when we know the truth, it makes more sense, right? It makes more sense of what our purpose here is. And if we were already formed, if our souls were already made in heaven, and they were just given a body here on earth, we're not any different than the way he did Jesus, right? Jesus, he did that. He brought him down from heaven and he put him on earth. He was a man just like us. So our purpose is to follow Jesus, right? And that's what I plan on doing. That's what I've been doing. That's what I want to do. I plan on doing this as well, doing more live talks, because I don't have a studio like I need to. I'm having issues. We've had some family changes, so we've got expanded family in the house now, so which is really good news. I've been praying for this for years, and plus I've had some health issues. So, and that seems to be like one of my biggest things that's been keeping me, because I have been out almost 3 weeks. No, probably longer than 3 weeks now, with close to a month now. I had a flare, and I think I have Sojourn's. I've never been diagnosed. I don't like the doctors, but I know what my body's doing. So I've been on this really, really strict diet. And I've lost weight. I'm actually feeling better, but I had a really major flare, and it caused some major issues in my body and my feet and stuff. I've been having issues in my feet for the last couple of years. This just ignited it, but I think I'm over it. I think I'm on the downside of it now. So I just pray, that God just keeps lighting me up with wisdom and guidance and healing on this. And my daughter has been diagnosed with a rare disease. A very crippling disease, and I just pray, for her, and I ask that you pray for her too. She's a good mama. She's got 3 babies. The devil's been trying to take them for years from us, and God has brought them back. God has brought him back to us. Thank you, Jesus. And then she found out she's got this, and so she seems kind of down sometimes, but just pray for her, please, because she's going to have it rough for a while. She's on a chemotherapy right now to help help her immune system. She's kind of like me. I have this autoimmune disease, and she has this autoimmune, and I may have both. I'm not sure because I'm probably the one that gave it to her. But pray for her to get some Medicaid too. She's having issues. She's a Indian. She's a Choctaw Indian, so she's always had free medical. But they can't help with this stuff. She needs a rheumatologist, and she needs health insurance, and sometimes free doesn't always cut it. So we do pray for that as well. And if you need any prayers or anything, please put it down in the comments. I appreciate you getting on here and listening to me today. Tomorrow, I'll probably talk more about the Book of Enoch because I found some other interesting things and I'm doing some research. I love the Book of Enoch. I think it just explains so much more to us than it supplements the Bible, basically. It's a good thing to help with the Bible. It helps bring in the Bible and weaves it together. So you're not doing anything wrong in the Lord's eyes, I wouldn't think, by reading the Book of Enoch. So it'd be better than reading some of those things or watching TVs, So, all right. I hope you all have a great day, and please stay safe out there. I know the weather's been really, really bad, and I'm praying for those in Kerrville. I don't know if you saw that, but that where the 2023 eclipse went over and the other eclipse went over, where it crossed at was over Kerrville. That is a very rare phenomenon. So Kerrville actually saw both the eclipses, and they actually had the flooding, the catastrophic flooding there. And that was rare, very rare phenomenon that could all three happen in one place. So please pray for them. Please pray that God, tells us what's going on in this, what's happening in all this, because, I really don't know what all this means, but I do know that God has prophesied through Kim Clement that Summer was going to have to do some things that Summer didn't want to do, because Summer is a spirit, and we see that in the Book of Enoch. So, yes, so let's just pray for our country and pray for President Trump too. All right. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. I got some updating for y'all to get to do, especially my neighbor who hates us. He hates us. So I'll probably be doing some live videos from there in my front yard at 7:30 in the morning, because we have a neighbor he just flips us off all the time, cusses at us and everything else, has the old neighborhood riled up now because he's attacking us. So pray for us on that too. All right. I love you, and I'm going to end it. God bless, and have a great day. Thank you.